Trinidad and Tobago's government is warning its citizens about getting involved in get-rich-quick schemes. The test scores are in, and some students are not happy with their results. Amid growing complaints of inconsistencies, thousands are petitioning the CXC demanding a review. And ruling by decree, Haiti's president has installed 9 members of the Provisional Electoral Council after a divided Haitian Supreme Court opted not to swear them into office. Immigration protection under fire. A U.S. court rules that the Trump administration can end immigration protections for some 400,000 people who are under the Temporary Protected Status or TPS program. Concern about the global distribution of coronavirus vaccine, Oxfam is warning that a few wealthy nations have secured contracts for more than half of the world's future supply of COVID-19 vaccine. And a turning point for tourism in Grenada. With the return of 3 international airlines to Grenada next month, the Spice Island is gearing up for a return to tourism. And a COVID-19 business success, how one business owner is growing his company while helping others during the pandemic.
This is the Caribbean Times News with Alicia Davis.
I'm Alicia Davis in New York. Thank you for being with us. And we begin with our headline story, the government of Trinidad and Tobago issuing a stern warning to citizens about getting involved in get-rich-quick schemes. Speaking at the weekly cabinet meeting, National Security Minister Stuart Young said that people shouldn't get involved in schemes that appear to be, quote, too good to be true.
Security and Exchange Commission, as well as the central bank, warn the public against getting caught in a pyramid scheme. It doesn't matter what you call a pyramid scheme. We all know in Trinidad and Tobago parlance what a susu is. So they may call a pyramid scheme a susu, but it is not a susu. As you know and as you are aware how a susu works, it's 10 of us, each of us 1 week, we put in $10. Mr. Ramdeo on the first week will get $100, but he has to continue for the next 9 weeks putting in his $10, right? So it's basically a loan and a cash loan up front to whoever. That's a susu scheme. A pyramid scheme is fraud. A pyramid scheme is designed to collapse at some stage. So I was in the office not too long ago when the young people were asking me, Minister, you bring two? You bring, and I had no clue what they were talking about. And they were teasing me and they were all laughing. Minister, you didn't bring two, you have two? And I had no clue what they were asking me about. And then afterwards, they did, just as you said, so there's a current pyramid scheme that was a bring two. So you walk with one, you walk with Minister Khan, Minister Nobrega, I walk with the two of them, all of us put in our money, then we go and we bring, and that is a pyramid scheme. So yes, there's a concern.
Now to Haiti, where President Jovenel Moïse has installed 9 members of the Provisional Electoral Council after a divided Haitian Supreme Court opted not to swear them into office. Moïse has been accused of violating the Constitution by naming the 5 men and 4 women to the council by a decree that was published in the state-owned newspaper. Now, this comes as the country debates the timing of its next elections. Moïse came to office in 2017, and while some experts say that his term ends next year, Moïse is arguing that he has a 5-year term that doesn't end until 2022. Well, coming up after the break, immigration under fire in the U.S., and growing outrage over the 2020 CXC results. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Caribbean Times News. The Caribbean Examinations Council is under fire from students, parents, and teachers. The accuracy of results from the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, or CSEC, and the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, or CAPE, are being called into question after students received grades results that they say are totally out of the norm. A petition on change.org has received over 14,000 signatures demanding a review of the 2020 CXC results.
The disquiet amongst students who recently received the results of the CXC, CAPE, and CSEC examinations are definitely cause for concern. I am of the view that an urgent investigation must be carried out by CXC into this matter to preserve the integrity of the examinations. I know that the Council has already responded to indicate the procedure to initiate the review process by Friday, the 23rd of October. And while there must be respect for process, I do feel, however, that given the unprecedented number of students who have raised concerns, particularly those online, I would strongly urge CXC to move swiftly to investigate and also to consider the waiver of fees associated with the review. Indeed, these are not normal times, and as a cloud of uncertainty looms over the heads of several of our students who are preparing to go off to university, it is incumbent on CXC to urgently resolve this matter so that they can get on with their lives.
And immigration protection under fire. A U.S. court has ruled that the Trump administration can end immigration protections for some 400,000 people under the Temporary Protected Status, or TPS, program. Now, nationals with TPS from Haiti, along with El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Sudan, could be subject to deportations starting as soon as next year, some as early as January. Many TPS recipients have been living in the U.S. for decades and have children who are U.S. citizens. Plaintiffs say that they will appeal the ruling. And now to the coronavirus vaccine. Oxfam is warning that a small group of wealthy nations, representing just 13% of the world's population, has secured contracts for more than half of the world's future supply of COVID-19 vaccine. According to the Oxfam report, this could leave 2/3 of the world's population without any access to a vaccine until at least the year 2022. The CEO of the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, Serum Institute of India, has told the Financial Times that even after a vaccine is approved, it could take up to 5 years to vaccinate everyone around the globe. Now, coming up, one business owner who is helping people find new careers during the pandemic. Stay with us. Welcome back to Caribbean Times News. And now to a business owner who is growing his company while helping others during the pandemic. Samuel Fenelus is the founder of the Emergency Training Center, which offers classes and hands-on training in healthcare. Earlier today, we spoke to him about how the pandemic has impacted his company and how others might be able to find opportunity in tough times. Mr. Fenelus, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Alicia.
Now, in a time when businesses are closing, you are one of the lucky few that's actually expanding. Tell us a little bit about how the pandemic has affected your company.
Well, we have healthcare providers who came from all different types of locations, coming to assist us here in New York City, coming from different states. They all need to be CPR and first aid certified before they can even assist anyone in any type of hospitals or clinic out here due to COVID. So our volume actually went extremely through the roof, and we did extremely well because I had the chance to be able to certify all of these employees coming to assist from all different types of locations.
That's right. Well, the Emergency Training Center, we certainly were seeing an emergency. And with COVID-19 protocols placing restrictions on indoor gatherings, how have you managed to actually conduct the classes?
Well, we implemented online classes where some of our students were able to have classes with me directly by using Zoom or Skype. Not only that, we had online classes, we had classes where the students physically had to come in because they had to do their clinicals, of course. So we just had to limit the numbers of students that we actually had on site. Everyone were using proper PPE, masks, face shield, gowns, everything that's used in the hospital to protect them. Because if they're in the hospital, they're going to have to be using the same equipment as well. So pretty much they got some early practice, which I see it.
And with so many people unemployed now, and many maybe not even able to return to work even after this pandemic ends because some of those jobs may be gone forever. So if someone is looking for a new field, why should they consider medicine?
Well, the healthcare industry has always been secured. There's people who are always getting sick. There's people who are always getting hurt as well. So those people who are sick and hurt are always going to need providers to be there to assist them. The healthcare industry carries national certs where you basically could work almost anywhere. The reason I think they should come to Emergency Training Center because we certify them on the same day once they finish their course if they want to take their national cert. And not only that, we assist them with job placement. We have implemented payment plans. We got rid of our late fees as well to accommodate those who are actually having a hard time paying for their course. We also decreased the prices for our courses, which is something we never done before, and a lot of schools have not chose to do as well, but we're serving our community and we want to see more healthcare providers out here.
Well, you're doing great work, and it's great to hear about opportunities in these tough times. So I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Alicia. I appreciate it.
That was Samuel Fenelus, the founder of the Emergency Training Center. And finally, in tonight's Caribbean Moments by Caribbean Journal, Grenada approaching a turning point in the island's tourism industry. 3 international airlines are returning to Grenada next month. American Airlines, JetBlue, and Air Canada will be offering weekly flights to the island. And that brings us to the conclusion of this broadcast. From all of us at Caribbean Times News, thank you for joining us. Good night.